Welcome back to 1111 True Crime. Hope you are doing well, staying warm. It's horrid out there, freezing for everybody. None of us are used to whatever temperature you're getting. So stay together, stay warm. Remember, we're going to get through this too. And counter steer if you're on ice. All right, there goes the notification. We are live, darling, live, I tell you. Welcome to our new studio. I've been gone for a couple of days getting the studio set up, and I hope you like it. It doesn't look like much, does it? But it's actually was a great deal of work, like a lot. But it is so beautiful and so comfortable to come into the office. And it's a little piece of heaven for me, and I can't wait to say hi to everybody. Hello, Nikki UK, my Zozo. How are you? Greeneville, Jennifer Swain, Rage Not That Rage. Let's see, did I get everybody? I think I did for my mods. If I left you out, I am so sorry. There's Carla Burjan. So she's here too. Good, good, good. Thank you, my beautifuls. Hello. Hi, Linda Beatty. Hello, hello. Hey, Kimberly, Audacity's here. And there's a lot of you. So I'm just going to deep dive into this. We're going to be doing a lot of chit-chatting today. Just an open forum. Because I want to talk about Summer Wells. I want to understand more about Fred Hill. Why? There's 1,000 reasons why he is such a focus right now. We've got the whole investigation going over here on Van Hill with his grandpa or his uncle, right? His uncle Paul Hill, which we don't suspect, but his property. And a lot more that goes on with this Fred Hill that is at the end of Ben Hill Road, just a short ways from Summer Wells where she went missing. Now, this is Hawkins County, Tennessee, and across the driveway from Summer's home was another driveway, and if you went straight up that driveway, you've got Jody Sue and Andy Bernard. So at the end of the road, you'd have Fred Hill, who is his uncle is Paul Hill back here where everybody's investigating. And then if you go, like I said, across the street to Jody Sue, and her beau at the time was Andy Bernard. And Andy Bernard is the great-grandson. So that would be his great-grandfather. I think I got it right. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so both of them, both neighbors, tie to Van Hill. But there's a lot more reasons for us to really look at Fred Hill, and especially his past speaks for itself as to why he went to prisons concerning, and we're going to get into all of that. Hey, Ashley, watching from Missouri. It's frozen here. Oh, I just pray for you guys' safety, especially if you're not used to the cold. I'm in Wisconsin. We know the cold. It is not our friend, but we know the cold. We know how to prepare. So I get very concerned when the cold is creeping down into Missouri and Arkansas and Florida for you guys, because if you don't know the cold and stuff, you could get into some serious trouble. So real quick, I want to tell you that I would love it if you would go to Walmart and go into the sporting goods section and buy yourself some of those little beanbag hand warmers that deer hunters use. You shake them to activate them. They're warm, and they could save your life. Put some of them in your car. Put some in your house just in case you need them. Also, counter steer your car. I'm just saying, if you go into a slide and you're going the wrong way, you're not wanting to hit the other vehicle, start going the direction you want to go. That's counter steering. That'll help you. It's a mess there in Kentucky. Wow, Sam. Wow. My dad's on a cruise. Sorry, I didn't say hi to everybody working while listening. Well, thank you for tuning in. Linda says, I read they found a box in the river. They won't say what's in the box. A lock box. What river? When? This is news to me. I heard nothing about that. Anybody else? Somebody give me an idea what that means and if that's what you guys heard too. I don't know. Nothing but ice. Sam, nothing but ice. Chat is flying, so it's hard to grab the comments. Hello, Salon. Is it Selena? I think it's Selena. Hello, lovely. Welcome back. Hey, Shauna. Mods and all. Hello. So I want your input today about Fred. What makes you, if it does, if there is anything, let's stronger way. What makes Fred someone that you feel suspicious of? You know what I mean? What is suspicious of him to you? What has queued you up? LB, Mama D, can you send healing cosmic Kali? My mother, she's been a big fan all the way from London, England. Had a pretty nasty fall, and I know she's watching you right now. Cosmic Kali, we love you. We really do. I'm sending Reiki healing energy to you. And you are going to feel loved and cared for and know that you are important to the universe. And so just relax and heal and enjoy the show. We're here to be with you too. I hope that helps, love. I hope that helps. Linda's in Wisconsin with me. So Linda's kind of like me. She knows what it's like to go out and try to start your car when they say, minus 35 degrees, and you're like, and I gotta get my kid to work. You know. The Duchess of Oak Trees. I've never heard your name before, but I love it. The Duchess of Oak Trees. Am I the only one who thinks these folks are all a bit strange in the vicinity? No, you're fully on board with the rest of us. You're with the majority, I think. I think yes, okay. My dad's on a cruise. You guys' names, I love them. His stories keep changing. Indeed. Yes, one of the things that comes to mind is Cotton, right? There was this young man, I don't know the full story by heart, but from my understanding, and please feel free to fill in more details because I barely understand the story. So Freddy was in jail because he was not just the dealer of mathematics, but the supplier of mathematics to not only Ben Hill, but lots of places. So if you don't know the difference between the dealer of mathematics and the supplier of mathematics, let me explain, darling. There's only one supplier in an area. They're territorial. Very rare to have multiple suppliers in one area. And then there's lots and lots of these little low-life dealers of mathematics that will go to the math house and talk to the supply dealer, supply talking to the dealer and disperse said products. So there's a supplier, there's a dealer, and there's an addict, and so forth. Freddy went to prison for being a supply of mathematics, which we're talking a little bit more big fish. And he's at the end. Now, a lot of us have concerns that rugs are involved in Summer's case. So thinking about Fred, not to mention all what we're going to get into, including cadaver dogs, including Candace being at his place, the rumors that are being said about relationships, we gonna talk about it all. There's also this whole thing where Donnie says something strange about a neighbor, and then the neighbor's like, no, I wasn't there, it wasn't me. I have an alibi, legit, like a paper-proof alibi, I was somewhere else. So then, is he talking about Fred? We're gonna get into all that. In this, how does Fred connect to Summer Wells. That's a big deal. Like, if the feds are over there on Van Hill, which is Fred Hill's uncle, is there that connection? We're all wondering, is Fred the connection? Because you got Summer Wells on Ben Hill, and then 10 miles away, basically, you have Van Hill with a guy named Paul Hill living there. And there would be no dot to dot to track it unless you're looking on Summers Road and the neighbors that she has. She has relative of Paul Hill across the street from her and at the end of the road. She ain't got a lot of neighbors, so basically her neighbors are connected to Van Hill, where they're investigating through being related to Paul Hill. His mullet makes him suspicious. His mullet makes him suspicious. You're right. Chad. All right, you guys, this is Billy the Goat. This is our mascot. And we have found multiple uses for the Billy the Goat. And I sell him in my shop, which is 1111dex.com. Feel free to check it out. It's like a tea shop. You can get wonderful goat milk soap. You can get amazing raw cow milk, lotion. There's lots of jewelry, lots of fun things, and Billy the Goat. I'm self-sponsoring, so. But Jennifer Swain, I was on the phone with her, and she told me she has not only bought Billy the Goat and uses him to scream along with me in the show, which a lot of you have done. We have sold out of Billy the Goat every week. I get in a batch of Billy the Goats, and by the end of the day, they're usually gone. I think we have 2 right now in the store, and that's it. Now, she said she found a second job for Billy the Goat. And I was like, what? And she said, them scam callers. Every time they scam me, and I know it's a scam, they get the goat. And I'm like, that's too funny. That is too funny. Linda says all they showed was a notebook with Daniel's name written in it. What? Who's Daniel? Are you talking about the Lily and Jack case? And are you talking about the geocache? Put a star. Put a heart. There you go. Put a heart in front of any message that you are talking to me. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I hear you. I hear you at home. I hear you. That way I'm not grabbing parts of your private. Well, it's public, but it's also not about what we're talking about. Hello to everybody. Sometimes I jump into chat and don't say hi. We love you anyway. Okay. Kylie's Nail Candy. Welcome back, beautiful. Candace went to see Fred after Summer vanished. That day, I'm clapping like Chris Proudfoot with every... Right? He was like, nothing happened that day. Yes. So, before Candace calls 911 and reports Summer missing, before Candace calls Don, the daddy, and says, I can't find Summer, she allegedly is over at Fred's house. Why? There's more. This is a big one. She's walking back from Fred's house too. Not only did Fred say she was there, but Candace didn't drive back. Candace walked, and I don't know how much you need to be in this case, maybe 10 minutes, to realize after looking at Candace, she doesn't run or walk nowhere. Okay? And one of the reasons I believe this, even though Fred's story changes all the time, is because of the 911 call. Because a dispatch, well, not 911 call, But the dispatch that we all heard, it was, yeah, it said, the mother went on a walk. Yeah, okay, it's back. The mother went on a walk. She's been gone 10 minutes, came back, and the child's missing. She can't find the child, her daughter. So, if Candace is actually walking back, I need lip gloss, chapstick. If Candace is actually walking back from Fred's, there's some questions to be asked. 1, did she drive a vehicle over there and leave it? Was Summer in it? Or, I want your thoughts on this. Here comes the truth train. Or, did someone pick Candace up, and Summer maybe, and then go to Fred's house, and then Candace came back alone? How did Candace get to Fred, y'all, if she's walking back? The mother went out on a walk, was gone for a walk. She was gone about 10 minutes. She came back. Her daughter's missing. I don't know. That's weird. Kylie's Nail Candy says the weirdest thing, too, is the only scent found was at the end of Fred Hill's driveway. That's not exactly what I heard. I heard Fred himself state that the cadaver dogs tracked up his driveway and hit on his boot, and on his truck. Anybody else? Might be right. That's what I heard anyway. Is that it hit on his boot and on a vehicle. Rach says over 183. Yeah, 183 in chat versus 93 likes. Can we do better, please? Thank you, my loves. I think a lot of us forget, but yeah, please take a moment. Take a moment, chill. Go hit that like button. You're not missing nothing. We'll wait. We'll come back together. It just supports the channel so much. Candace said she's scared to walk out there. Right, Carla. She's like, no, because there's, what all did she say? Coyotes was one. What was all out there? Bear. That was a big one. Coyote, bear, snakes. So she can go for walks. That's why Summer wouldn't leave the property. I feel ya. Hey, Grey Wolf, welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see ya. Kylie says Damien is Jody Sue's son. Yes. He's suspicious in himself the way he allegedly was caught climbing up the side of the Ben Hill to get to what you would think would be the top of the hill much after Summer went missing, but still, why is he climbing around on the hill? And the person delivering wood somewhere saw him and didn't even know who he was. Jody Sue's like, no, he was just getting our mail. No, let me put it Jody Sue's way. He was just getting our mail. I have to get real close to the mic and mumble so that it's totally distorted and you have to guess every word I'm saying. Just saying. My new chair swivels really nice, so I've got to remind myself not to do that. It's a beautiful chair. I've got to show you this chair. Hold on a minute. Okay. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. thank my little earth angel for getting me a desk. And so I was like, you know what? Mama D has had her 16-year-old son's gaming equipment. He didn't want no more. That's what I've had this whole time. And I've upgraded the equipment on my own, piece by piece. My earth angel gave me an executive desk, and I'm floored. I love it. It gives me room, like space. Jennifer says, okay, that's the crosshair. She goes with Summer to Fred's and walks home alone. Something, okay. Now, that's a good point. That's a good point. You love the new chair, Greeneville. I've got to get used to it, you guys. Remember, mine always squeaks so bad? It don't squeak no more. All right, let's get into this. How did Candace get to Fred's to walk away from before Summer goes missing? Now, we've all seen the milk video. This child is laying up against ice cold milk. She does not look conscious. It's not that she just looks asleep. It looks like the child is literally not conscious. Whether you believe that's a slushy or you might think that there's something medicated in her, the part of the puzzle that we really need to figure out is what did Candace use? What transportation? Did someone pick her up? Did she walk there? How did she get to Fred's? And we now know, allegedly, according to Fred himself, the cadaver dog sat on his boot and one of his vehicles. Cadaver dogs hit, not live scent dogs. Could he have made a mistake? Maybe. But at this point, I'm going with what he said. So, think about the rest of the trail. If we look at that map, it's like 3 other places that come away from Fred's, behind his place, go across the little valley, through the clear cut, back onto Beach Creek, way down the road. So it's a big half circle from Fred's place around to Beach Creek Road. Did somebody try to come back from Beach Creek Road to return her? I don't think so. Maybe. I just don't see that. So I'm thinking it's leaving Fred's, going through that whole method. And so then, I've been watching Dolly Vision. Have y'all heard the rumors about Candace and Fred bumping the mullets? I had lunch already, and I'm not sure I want to talk about this part, but I think we need to. Carla Burgeon says, that's great, Mama D. You deserve the best of everything. I got it. Y'all, we have upgraded to a level. I don't want to go any higher. I love it exactly the way it is. Everything is perfect. I'm just thankful. I'm just thanking God. I thank all of you. I thank my earth angels. I thank everybody. I'm just thankful. And I like our new upgrade. Like, it feels a lot more laid back, not so like busy. Jersey says, Jersey Rivet says the milk isn't that cold because it was in the mid-80s out. No air on in the truck. And no condensation on the milk jugs if you look. And I can't figure that out. I've actually done the test in the car. 83 degrees. If you don't have the air on, it's hot in the car. It's hotter than 83. Why is there no sweat on the milk? I don't get that part. I can't even find what scientific event I've got to do to make that happen, other than it has to be already warm milk. So if they really bought milk and then took Hunter home, and by the time this happens, was the milk literally back to room temperature? I don't get it. Rachel Mary, if the dog alerted on Fred's boot and vehicles, I wonder if they were also taken to his house, or was Summer put in the truck from Candace's car? Okay, let's walk that out for a minute. When you say Candace's car, that would not have been available because the GPS on that car is going to show that Donnie has it at work, allegedly. So the all-star tracking, his 7 alibis, would mean that that car would actually be in Baileyton. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going with what's been established. So then we have to ask, did she use Grandis's truck? But then, remember that part where, you know, it's hard to believe all these people that have told us a lot of lies. But Jody Sue talked about the dull, reddish, dark red vehicle that struggled to go halfway up the driveway and that it didn't even go all the way up. It came backed down. Candace and Dawn had a red van that they were driving that just disappears when summer disappears, and it didn't show up until 3 years later when they returned from Arkansas. They then showed up with the red van, and then not even a full year later, maybe a year later, we have the feds over here on Van Hill Road talking about how we've heard rumors, leaked information, we don't know if it's true or not, take it with a grain of salt, that they found the red vehicle that they're looking for. Now, majority is assuming that it's the red Tacoma pickup that they've been advertising on Summer's missing poster. You know, the one where Robin Lane, the assistant school teacher, was crossing it off the picture of the red Tacoma truck because she is explaining to Chris McDonough in the interview that she just assumed, she didn't call TBI or do anything to check it, that she assumed they weren't looking for that anymore because someone told her that. So she was altering the tip and crossing it off so that people would think that it was debunked, that they weren't looking for the red truck anymore. Come to find out, Robin and her husband had just bought, very much near that time frame, a red Tacoma truck matching the description. So that gets all crazy. But if we just push that aside for a minute and we go back to this red van, so Rachel's saying if the dogs alert on Fred's boot and vehicles, I wonder if they were also taken to his house or was Summer put into his truck from Candace's car. I'm wondering, could it have been Candace's van? Because that van disappeared. Could Summer have been passing away in Grandma's truck? Because it can be a while before, I mean, even if somebody passes away, 20 minutes, you can still move them. And depending on the circumstance, that doesn't necessarily leave the scent of death. It can be much later. So did they move Summer quick enough into the red van and Jody didn't know that it came all the way down? No, because you would only see it once. I don't know. But could that have been the vehicle? Forget about Jody Sue and all that. But could that have been the vehicle that disappeared, parked somewhere at Fred's, with Summer Wells' remains in it? Could he have hid Summer Wells knowingly or unknowingly? Like, Summer's not been reported missing. Did Candace just say, hey, can I store my truck back here? The kids won't leave it alone, and I don't know, somebody was out there messing with it. Can I just store my truck back there? And he could have said, just go park it back there. No, because then you'd had to get Summer out. He'd have had to be in the know. If they're bumping ugly mullets, could Fred have tried to cover up and help Candace by exactly that? Candace shows up. But Candace wouldn't have had a car to drive home. She would have had to walk. So what car would she have left there? I'm so confused. Country Boy Explorer says if you really look at the basement door and do a sharp right turn, you are completely hid from the camper. I could see that. I know I've looked at it enough. I agree with you. Greeneville, my daughter is rocking a mullet these days. She wishes she grew up when I did. That's too funny. Bumping the mullets, right? That's just scary thought. Someone said liquid math. In the milk jugs? I just feel it's so strange that there's no sweat on the milk jugs. That's right. Latham B 66 says Summer Moon Utah Wells. We love that little girl. I see what you're thinking now. I'm trying to work it out. Not quite sure what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out why Candace is walking back from Fred's. So how'd she get there? It had to be a vehicle because she ain't going to do it twice. I just don't think so. She's certainly not going to walk down with Summer in her arms. I've been praying that they finally find her and find out what happened to her and who's responsible for it. Thank you, Country Boy Explorer. I pray with you all the time. I truly do. And I appreciate prayers because I know that our prayers work. Could she have been bitten by a snake? Kimberly, you talking Summer? Jennifer says, I think Don was home all along because he called Hunter and asked when is Candace coming home, implying that he was at home. Okay, he didn't call Hunter. Hunter was in the car. He called Candace, allegedly, while they were in the line for the pharmacy to drop the medication off. Right? And before the swimming hole. Is that right? Or was it after when they were picking up the pharmacy prescription for Grandma? One of the times they were in the line, they were in the drive-thru for the pharmacy. And Candace allegedly got a call from Donnie. And then just like you're saying, he was asking her when she was coming home, implying he was at home, instead of saying, when is she going to be home? Coming home? When are you coming home? I get you. Okay, so you're saying if, let me see if this is what you're saying and then confirm with me if I got it right. So what you're saying is, if you weren't home, you would say, what time are you going to be home? Right? Because you're at a different location. You just want to know when that person's going to be home. But if you are home, and that's where they live too, you might say, if you're already home, you'd say, when are you coming home? Wow. I could see that. Wow. That's something to think on. Linda Glover, hello, lovely. If Summer passed, like you said, then maybe they were afraid for an autopsy because it might show some abuse, get Don in trouble. I agree on that. Right, Jersey. I agree. Don didn't know Hunter was with Candace, remember? Because Candace hushed everybody. Shh! Donnie's calling. And she's not going to hush Candace or Summer. So it would just be Hunter that she was hushing. Mazda Smith says, I think Summer had an accident and they had to get rid of the body because the body would show some SA and they would both be in prison, in your opinion. I think you could be right. I'm not sure how to say your name, but Malamp. Hi, Malamp. How are you, lovely? Welcome to the channel. You just got a bad cold. Pam, honey, you just got over being sick, didn't you? Sending you tons of Reiki healing. I love you. I hope you get to feeling better. Elsa says, how do the people surrounding Summer Wells and Jack and Lily have no conscience and keep secrets over missing children? I don't get it. Me either. So let's talk for a minute. We've got Fred Hill, who's a convicted supplier of mathematics. Not so cool, right? Hey, amputee, good to see you. Welcome back. Good to see ya. So one, he's a convicted rug supplier. Bigger fish. Number two, cadaver dogs hit on his boot and his truck, according to him. Right up his driveway, like beelined it right up his driveway, hit on his boot and his truck. Cadaver dog. That isn't just because something's dead. Cadaver dogs aren't going to alert because there's a bad smell from a dead chicken. And it's almost like he was trying to get ahead of it when he showed Ziggy the bones that turned out to be animal bones to explain it away, not knowing that we have true crime and know the difference, that it's human remains that the dogs are trained on. So, yeah, I think that's why he told us to get ahead of it and to show the bones and then, oh, they were animal bones. Oh, well, guess we can forget about that. No, nay, not today, not tomorrow. The problem is that their cadaver dogs are tracking decaying humane. Summer's missing. So his boot, his truck, and then, like I said, the sense of Summer, blah, 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 all the way around, whatever, back out through the woods, through the grove, through that clearing, and out to Beach Creek on the other side of the hill. So if Candace and Fred have any alliance towards each other, now keep in mind, so did you Brown. That's what I call her. That's what came out my mouth. So did you Brown. If Jody Sue, wow, dyslexia of the brain. If Jody Sue Brown is right that Candace and Don were spending little bucks on getting medication, right, to cause everybody to go to sleep, that's little one sleeping assistance there. Could Freddy be some sort of a supplier? Because they don't stick to one thing. They're not only a mathematical dealer. They deal in anything their customers want. You want PILO? We get you a PILO. You want grass? We got this guy that does that. I'll get some from him. You want Cool Whip today? I've got your Cool Whip. So if you really think about it, Jody Sue's alleging that Dawn and Candace are purchasing sleeping aid for the wee ones so that naughties can happen. Who's the supplier? Is a big question. We know Andy's the weed guy. And yes, weed, like puppies, will make you sleep, right? But I doubt that's what's going to be working on a 5 or 6 year old. But if you're needing something else, could Freddy be the one that's causing the nightmares on Ben Hill? Is Freddy Krueger. You feel me? So at that moment, if Truth Train blaring through, like, doesn't have magical timing, it truly does. So if he's the supplier of whatever Okay? He now has skin in the game if they've been giving it to the wee ones and now Summer ain't okay for whatever reason. It'd be very much where you are kind of going, oh, shite. These parents, if this child's found to have all this in them, may break and tell everybody I'm the one that sold them that. And not only are they going down, but I'm going down for much worse. And then it opens up into much more time in the prison. So I have to get rid of this. I've got skin in the game. I don't know. What are you guys thinking on this theory? Amputee says, I agree. Dawn said that if he was charged with another felony, he would get 25 years, and CPS was there for Summer. You're not wrong. Linda Glover on another video today. It was said Summer had a cold hot dog for breakfast before the trip swimming hole. Cold hot dog, didn't even heat it up. Really, Candace, how awful. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because it was years and years and years, 4 years that we've known Summer didn't have no breakfast. Through locals, through all this, through everybody. They've always said that they got out of there and go to the ER, and that when it came time to food, they went to Sonic. For those of you that are not believing that they went to the Sonic, I will tell you now that there is, TBI is using that footage from Sonic's cams, their security cam, their CTV footage of Summer alive at Sonic. At Sonic. That's the place where the child was caught alive on camera. So yes, they did go to Summer. They did go to the Sonic. So that's what I heard too, Jennifer, is that CPS came because it was alleged that the boys were using real pew-pew guns, but then when they got there, it was BB guns. Yeah, Pamela, this story has a lot of red flags. Right. But do you wonder, why is Candace walking back from Fred's? Like, she ain't gonna have walked there. Did she drive a vehicle there that had Summer in it? So did she drive Grandma's truck? Or was she worried they'd be looking for Grandma's truck, so she quick switched Summer, put her in that red, nasty looking van, because that was running. We got Summer in the pictures, in the videos, in the van with her. They've got that van. It runs fine, and it poof disappears when Summer went missing. And it doesn't return for 3.5 years. Back from Arkansas, here they come. They got the red van back. So 3.5 years after Summer went away. So if this is true, now it would put Freddy in the know. Summer has passed away. We moved her from Grandma's truck into this red van. We drive it down the driveway, and we go over there, and we leave it so that he can handle that, because she got to get walking back to the house so she can call, well, she never did call 911. It was Donnie that called 911. But now she can call Donnie and be like, Summer's missing. And then, is that why the cadaver drugs now are going to hit on Freddy, his boot and his truck, is because he had to deal with what happened. Like, Candace was like, this be your problem. We gave her whatever you gave us last night. She was fine. We were swimming, and then she passed away in the car. And so I'm bringing her to you, and now the dogs are going to track right up here. I don't know. I know Candace didn't want to come out of the house when the police got there looking for the kids. Nana, hello. Nana for life. I've personally spoken with the manager of Sonic. Sonic was alive and giggling. That's truthful. And you can trust Nana for life 1000%. Cat Lady says dogs know what they are hitting on. I agree. Cat Lady also says, I've always thought Fred Hill had something to do with this. I think so too. I think it's the cover-up. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Nans for Life. Thank you, darling. Yes, she drove Grandma's truck. Is Sonic a drive-through or a place you go to? Well, you pull up and there's an order station here and you can place your order through like a drive. It's not like you drive around the building like you would with McDonald's. You pull up, you park, you place your order. If it's to go, they'll bring it out with bags. And if it's to stay, they bring a tray that hooks onto the window of your vehicle and you can serve the food from there. But they used to, in the old days, have roller skates and they'd like come off and, yeah. Jersey says, Summer was so emaciated at the time she went missing. Just the cold water she went swimming in could have caused hypothermia, then death. Amputee, good to see you. Don wasn't supposed to be home, as that is what he told Dudley, the guy that Don fired the day before Summer went missing. Linda Glover, I think when Candace got home, she went to pick up Summer from the car. Oh, that could be it. That could be the scream that Jody Sue hears. Could be Candace going to grab Summer. She probably didn't get her out of the car right away because she thought she was sleeping. Okay, let's read the rest of this. Linda Glover says, I think when Candace got home and went to pick up Summer from the car, found her unalive, and she was the one to scream. I feel that could have happened. I think Candace took Summer to Fred H. to hide Summer. And Fred H. would be connected to Van Hill and the knee bone to the leg bone. Ooh, baby. Baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, my God. So let's just look at this dot to dot. Let's say whatever took place, took place. Poor little Summer has passed. They switch her out of Grandma's car real quick so that they can have it searched and not have to worry. They put her in a vehicle that they're going to let go of for now. Drive that red van, plop, 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 all the way over to Fred Hill's. Give him the problem because he's the supplier of the rugs that Jody Sue all been talking about. Now Summer's his problem because Candace is a shitty mom, doesn't give a crap. She walks back and leaves that child over there. Of course he knows what happened in this scenario, allegedly. I agree. Fred knows what happened to Summer. Nana for Life says, I've been driving the route many times and spoken with everyone at each stop. I appreciate you sharing so much. Cat Lady says, in my opinion, Ziggy should also know the truth by now. Country Boy Explorer says, FH knows too much not to be involved. Remember Cotton Simpson? How he, when Fred was in prison, he alleged that that guy knew everything about where Summer was and all this, and then Cotton Simpson died, and then Fred Hill got investigated for Cotton Simpson's death? He was found innocent of those charges. Linda says, I totally think you were right about the slushy after watching a few videos of the kids in UK. This was a hot day and the S was not healthy. I wonder how long she left Summer in the car. Well, the scream was heard, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. 4:15 to 4:30. They would have gotten home no later than 3:15. An hour and some. And it can be 2 hours before the body starts releasing enough for a cadaver dog to pick up instantly. There's trails connecting all the properties behind the house. You could go from road to road from Ben Hill. I agree with you. Marie says the red van could have been the red flash Jody seen. If Donnie was home, he said that Summer would run down that. This is what I'm going to leave you with. This is where we're going to leave it today. Okay. Don Hill, Lord have mercy. Don Wells said that Summer would run down, halfway down the driveway to meet him when he come home from work every day. Meet him halfway down. He'd come to a stop. She'd open his door and ask, Daddy, did you get me my bag of candy? Okay? Keep this in mind. Jody Sue's saying that red vehicle only made it halfway up the driveway. So, is this actually Don home? Is he the one that brought Summer down the driveway and put her in a vehicle? And it wouldn't even have to be that red van. It could have been the red Tacoma truck, because Fred Hill may have been using that red Tacoma truck for some reason. That's his uncle. Have you ever borrowed an uncle's truck for any reason? There's a connection there. There's something. But needless to say, let's leave it here. There's a reason that Candace Bly Wells, was walking home from Fred's that day. The mother went out on a walk. She was gone for 10 minutes. She said when she come back, her child was missing. There's a reason that she was walking back. Is it because whatever vehicle she used to get there had Summer in it? And that's where it stayed? Because that's where the cadaver dogs track to Fred's boot and to Fred's truck, according to Fred. All right, my lovelies, that's where we're going to leave it. I've enjoyed my time with you so incredibly much. I am going to pull some cards. That's not your thing. I'm not concerned about that. Don't even worry about it. If it is your thing, please join us in about a half hour over on Crime Story Mama, where we're going to look at Fred a lot closer. I just want to see what the universe suggests about Fred and what can we learn. And I'm going to let you ask your own questions, and I'll pull the cards for that. Thank you so much for the like, the subscribes, for watching it all the way to the end. Maybe after the video is processed and it's a video and not live anymore. That sounded weird. Because we're alive now, but then we're going to be a video, so we're not live anymore? We're dead? No, we're not dead. I don't know. I think it's... Go hype the video. Just hype the video. I love you. I pray for Summer Moon Utah Wells from the very bottom of my heart, with all of my heart, that she is found and that the truth is revealed. I also send a lot of healing energy to each of you that comes from my heart to yours, as well as please take the precaution to make sure you take this weather serious and stay home if you can, snuggle in, and it's a time to just kind of be thankful for what we do have, right? Be thankful when my toilet flushes, because my toilet water froze that goes into the potty. So now I've got the back open and I'm pouring pans of water. So after you go potty, you can flush, but then you need to put 3 pails of water in there to pay it forward. Otherwise, somebody isn't going to be able to flush. It's not going to be pretty. But we all do what we got to do in this weather, but we're always here for each other. And I love you to the moon and back. See you again soon. Thank you, my lovely.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome. could feel